Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect, which we hope to be. Now, it's your brother Hawaii from GMS Chicago. Got a quick little lesson, going because we already know that the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jehovah, God, and the Heavenly Son, whose name is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ or Jesus Christos or Yeshua or Yeshaya or Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? That, they're merciful. You know what I'm saying? But there's another side, man. There's a side that's not preached in these churches. You know what I'm saying? A side that's not being warned. If you don't get right, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to destroy you. Like with all parents, if you do the wrong thing, they beat your ass. Once you start getting too old, they put you out. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much I want to get into a few scriptures. And I'm going to start off with Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4. It says, "For Jacob, my servant's sake." You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is saying, Jacob, my servant's sake. You know what I'm saying? So he's calling Jacob, the nation of Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and confusion of faces whose bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are Israelites, that we're servants of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And it says, in Israel, mine elect. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. You know what I'm saying? So it's referring to the 12 tribes of Israel. My elect, you know what I'm saying? Elect means Bakar, it's Bachyar, or Bakar, the Ba, the Cha, the Ya, the Ra. And remember, Hebrew is right to left. So when it says original underneath the H972, and you see those characters, this is Assyrian Hebrew and not the Paleo. But this is the more modern Hebrew that you'll see, you know what I'm saying, versus the actual original. This is and it's Ba, Cha, Ya, Ra. You know what I'm saying? And you put it together, it's Ba, Chayar, Ba, Chayar, And it says chosen, choice one, chosen one, elect of God. You know what I'm saying? And the nation of Israel is the nation that the Lord had chosen to be his favorite onto himself above all the other nations, all the other 17 nations that he had created. So we're the special ones, but the 144,000 and the 1/3, those are the ones that's going to get saved on the first go round. You know what I'm saying? And the 2/3, you know what I'm saying, will have to get destroyed, you know what I'm saying, because they being disobedient, I read again, it's Isaiah 45 and 4. It says, "For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me." You haven't known the Heavenly Father. You got a lot of Jakes out there. You know what I'm saying? When I say Jakes, it's like a nickname for Jacob. You know what I'm saying? I'm referring to the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of Jakes out there, including confusion of faces who spirit bear witness that they're a child of God, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Jakes out there, you know what I'm saying, who call themselves Christians. But hey, a Christian means a follower of the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? John 14 and 15 in the New Testament, the Lord said, and this is Yahushua speaking, the Messiah, he said, "If you love me, keep my commandments." But you got Christians out there that say, oh, the law is done away with, because really all they want to do is whatever they want to, you know what I'm saying, and just have that as a logo. You know what I'm saying? They have not known him. You don't follow law, statute, commandments to the best of your ability, the ones that you know that you can keep, you know what I'm saying, like not getting in the line and not popping another man's wife, you know what I'm saying, not eating pork, lobster, shrimp, clam, calamari, you know what I'm saying, young bulls, young animals, you know what I'm saying, you all completely go off. That's how you have not known the Lord, because if you would have known him, you would have done the deeds of his ways. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says that we are gods in Psalms 82 and 6, you know what I'm saying? And the Lord gave us the blueprint on how to be, Because you all look at the so-called white man, which is Esau, Edom, according to the Bible, as a god and stuff. But the things that he does is not godly, man. You know, verse 5, it says, I am Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no God besides me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord had, done all these things. He protected us. He clothed us. He gave us food. You know what I'm saying? He gave us things that we should be content with. You know what I'm saying? But we still have not, the nation of Israel still have not known him. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't follow law, statute, commandments. They don't follow their heritage. You know what I'm saying? They want to follow customs that's not theirs. Verse 6, it says that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none besides me. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord, there's no like all these different pagan gods, you know what I'm saying? Cheshire, Borgia, you know what I'm saying, who put up his image as the Messiah, so-called white man, Esau, Edom, he is no God. The scripture tells you that in Ezekiel. Any of these other heathens, the Buddha, the Buddhist statue, you know what I'm saying? Buddha, that's no God at all. You know what I'm saying? The Muslim God, the rocks, this, that, and the other, you know what I'm saying? Those are not gods, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is saying that there's none but him. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing sitting on the same level as him, Verse 7, it says, I form the light and create darkness. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures is the light of the world, and the darkness of the world is Esau, Edom's philosophies, man. You know what I'm saying? And all these other heathen customs that's out here, you know what I'm saying, that they say that anybody can be a part of, It says, I make peace and create evil. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we had Jacob's trouble that's coming. You know what I'm saying? That's an evil day. That's a great evil that's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like the purge, man. Stuff like that is going to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that's going to be at peace are the ones who's going to follow Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, who's going to keep these precepts. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to follow Isaiah 33:6. And it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and strength of salvation, man. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones who's going to have that peace, man. You know what I'm saying? They still might go through something, but at the same time, the Lord is going to have a hedge around them. It says, I, Yahweh, do all these things, So the Lord creates light, darkness, peace, and evil, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Joel chapter 5, verse 18. It says, for he maketh sore, he bindeth up. So the Lord can punish you, put you in a messed up situation. You could be sitting up there in a wheelchair with your foot messed up, you know what I'm saying? Looking all kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? He could smite you with madness, you know what I'm saying? He can put a sanity upon you, because a sanity is someone who does the same things over and expect a different outcome, man. You know what I'm saying? He could block you from this truth, you know what I'm saying? From getting the understanding, you know what I'm saying? He could seal your judgment as being a 2/3. But you don't want that to happen. That's something you pray for all the time, to not be a 2/3. He could smite your parents, whatever that you like and stuff. He could take it away from you, and it says, and bind us up, you know what I'm saying? So he could heal you back. You know what I'm saying? He woundeth and his hands maketh whole. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord can smite you, man. You know what I'm saying? He could he could put a disease upon you, man. You know what I'm saying? And he can heal you, man. He said that the herbs be for our meat. You know what I'm saying? He could put it in your spirit to look up certain things, and guess what? You found the cure of whatever you have. And everything works gradually, so you got to take it in a timely fashion. You know what I'm saying? This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. It says, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. You know what I'm saying? Meaning there's no God on the same level as him. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's the big God. You know what I'm saying? The only big God. You know, from Yahweh Shai on down, or going to the Israelites and stuff, we'll be the little Gods. Nobody's on the same level as the Heavenly Father. It says, I kill and I make alive. So here it is, the Lord saying, I kill and he makes alive. You know what I'm saying? All these babies that's getting killed and taken away, and all these people that's just dying left and right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's judgment because they're being disobedient. You know what I'm saying? You know, or or it's their judgment for what they did in their past lives, man. You know, it says, I wound and I heal. You know what I'm saying? That word wound in Hebrew is H4272, and is machtaza. You know, machtaza is the manacha and taza. Machtaza. You know, and it says to smite through, shatter, wound severely, to crush, smash, or violently plunge, to subdue or destroy, give, pierce through, smite through, strike through. You know what I'm saying? The word wound, the Lord can hurt you, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, he can put hurt on you. You know, it says, and I heal. You know, so the Lord can heal you. You know, he can help you get out of a situation that's hurtful, man. You know what I'm saying? You could be in a situation where it's like you won't be able to pay your rent, or you won't be able to do this or do that. You know, you need some money and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says, cast all your burdens upon the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And to wait for his mercies. You know what I'm saying? When thou art brought in the lower state. You know, you probably can't see it. You like panicking. You like, damn, you know what I'm gonna be able to do. You know, I gotta do this and stuff. My baby needs clothes. My baby needs shoes. You know what I'm saying? And then later down the line, when you least suspect it, bam, everything that you need is right there, and you got it. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it says, neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. You know what I'm saying? So if the Lord want to put hurt upon you, if he want to punish you because you was doing some things that you wasn't supposed to do, he's going to do it. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's none that can deliver out of his hand. You know what I'm saying? You know, and if you want to heal you, you know what I'm saying, help you out, you know what I'm saying, hey, guess what? There's none that can deliver out of his hand. So if you want to bring healing to you, he will. He want to heal you from a situation that you're in. He want to heal you from a disease that you have. Hey, guess what? He's going to do it. You know? This is this is First Samuel chapter 2, starting at verse 6. It says, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. You know what I'm saying? The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raises up the poor out of the dust. You know what I'm saying? And lift up and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill. You know what I'm saying? So it could be dude you'll consider a bum out there begging, panhandling and stuff, and the Lord can take him out that situation where he's in a steady apartment. You know, they actually yesterday on the line there was a guy who came up and stuff, and he was pretty much saying how he went through that situation, and the Lord gave him a house. You know what I'm saying? You know. And it says to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. You know what I'm saying? And it says, for the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord can put you in a poor state, you know what I'm saying, and give you riches afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Or give you things that's content, you know? Verse 9, it says, he will keep the feet of his saints, you know what I'm saying? And the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. You know what I'm saying? So, you get your strength can be physical ability, you know what I'm saying? Or your strength could be knowing a bunch of connects, you know what I'm saying? Or a bunch of money, you know what I'm saying? That's not gonna prevail. Only if the Lord allows it, you know what I'm saying, would it prevail, man. You know? You know? And this and pretty much going into the fact that that yes, of course, the Lord is mercy. He does all these great things and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the side that doesn't get told is that guess what? The Lord does kill. He does bring punishment. He does bring judgment. You know what I'm saying? And not all judgments is just the fact that he takes something away from you. He could take your life. He could take your health. You know what I'm saying? You know? This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. It says, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. You know what I'm saying? Overtake thee, meaning overpower, meaning you won't have no might to stop it. You know what I'm saying? And according to you don't want to be over righteous over much. You know what I'm saying? There's laws that you can keep. You know what I'm saying? And those are the ones that's required, man. You know what I'm saying? If the scripture says in Leviticus 19:27, thou shalt not round the corners of thy head, nor mar the edges of thy beard, man. You know what I'm saying? So that means don't get lineups. Don't line up your beard. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to look crispy on your beard. Just grow your beard. You know what I'm saying? You could groom it. You could trim it down, this, that, and the other. You can't have the black shadow. You know what I'm saying? 5 o'clock shadow. You can have it low, and don't line up your hairline, man. That's something that you can keep, don't eat pork. Don't eat lobster. Don't eat shrimp. Don't eat crab. Don't eat clams. Don't eat calamari. Don't eat baby back ribs. Because if it is a baby that they killing and stuff, you're not supposed to eat it according to the law. You're supposed to let an animal grow to its age and stuff. It's fullness of age, and then that's when you take it out. You know what I'm saying? According to the law, there's don't have sex with another man's wife. Don't put no other gods before him. You know what I'm saying? For the women, if you got a man already, don't be trying to have sex with another man. Just to name a few. The verse, I'm gonna read verse 16. It says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field," according to the book of Matthews. You know what I'm saying? The field means the world. You know what I'm saying? City is like different areas that you are and stuff, but it's still within the world, And this is what the Lord had put upon us, you know what I'm saying? Because we didn't follow the law, statutes, commandments, man. This is the other side that is not told in these churches, This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 67. It says, in the morning, actually, I'm starting verse 66. It's this Deuteronomy 28 and 66. It says, "In thy life." Now, this is also part of the curses because from Deuteronomy 28 1 through 15 go 1 through 14 goes into the blessings, but from Deuteronomy 28 verse 15 all the way to verse 68 are the curses. And saying it shows that the Lord don't play. You know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy 28 and 66. It says, "And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear." Actually, Salakia. This is This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. It says, Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. You know what I'm saying? Jacob's trouble, man. That's what's coming. You know what I'm saying? When you're going to have real live purges, man. You know what I'm saying? Where you'll be cut off from being able to get through certain areas, man, where they gonna quarantine certain areas, man. Where you gonna either gonna be in the inside or you gonna be in the outside, man. Great distress and uncivil rest is coming to this place, man. Martial law is coming to this place, man. You know what I'm saying? Like where say if you got just for an example, if you got a family member in the army and you recognize him and stuff, but yeah, he got to take orders and you being untimely, he might bust your ass in your face, man. You know what I'm saying? With the back end of the gun, man. You know what I'm saying? Women gonna get it, men gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Children gonna get it. Children might just get shot, put to death. You know what I'm saying? Or your child might sit up here and try to bite the military man. He put his lights out. These days are coming, man. This is Daniel's. This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. It says, And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, Israel. It says, that's who he's referring to. It says, And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. You know what I'm saying? And the Jacob's trouble is that time, man. When all hell breaks loose, when shit hits the fan. That's what this is talking about. And it's when there's no money. You know what I'm saying? Where the food is scarce and people are going to animal state of minds, you know what I'm saying, to get what they can, who's making people praise, man. Where there's no more food and they and their mind is playing tricks on them, you know what I'm saying, to commit cannibalism, man. And cannibalism is to eat another person, and it says such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. You know what I'm saying? Written in the book of life, man. You know what I'm saying? Which are going to be the 1/3 and 144,000 of the nation of Israel. 2/3 got to get destroyed, and all these heathens are going to get destroyed. And you're going to have some that's going to stay alive just so they can get rounded up to build our kingdom, man. All right, for a few examples, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 66, and this is also within this time, man. You know what I'm saying? When Jacob's trouble, when all hell breaks loose, when shit hits the fan, you know what I'm saying? These are going to be one of the things that's going to go down, man. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 66. It says, And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. It says, And thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of thy life. So it's going to be scary. It's going to be real scary out here. You know what I'm saying? You might have to sit up here and fight to the death, man. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's trying to take your limb for food. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hear screams left and right. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see a dude laying on the ground and stuff, and he going to look all messed up, or even a woman, and she going to look all messed up, this, that, and the other. But then they just come up, as soon as you make some noise, they get up, you know what I'm saying, be on some zombie shit with you, man, or you going to have women, you know what I'm saying, who's going to be a decoy, you know what I'm saying, just to take any wandering travels out that probably got supplies. You know what I'm saying? Because food is going to be scarce, man. People are going to go to the uttermost low, the lowest of the low, man. Even the ones who say that they'll never do it, it's going to get there. But the ones that's protected by Yahweh Shai, they going to be good, man. You know, it says, verse 67, it says, in the morning thou shalt say, would the Most High were even, and at evening, even thou shalt say, would the Most High were morning. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have fear. You know, actually, it's gonna say it. It says, for the fear of thy heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna see all this stuff that's going out here and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna see people houses getting robbed and ravaged, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's gonna be like Bushwick, you know, you gonna be, and this is not finna just be one day and it's over with. You know, these gonna be many days, man. You know what I'm saying? However long that the Lord ordained it to be, man. You know, until he comes back and save the elect, which we hope to be, man. You know, you're gonna be wondering, it's like, oh man, would I be able to make it to the morning? And the morning come, you're gonna be like, oh, would I be able to make it to the evening? And it's gonna be like this. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like this. I'm skipped to this is verse 50. Yeah, this is verse 54. It says, Deuteronomy 28:54, it says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's already there. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the curses to prove that the nation of Israel is divided against itself. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the, you know, you could be a so-called black man, which, you know, a Negro, you'll be a Judite, you know what I'm saying? Or you could be a Native American. You know what I'm saying? You could be a Gadite or a Reubenite, this, that, and the other and stuff. Because a lot of our folks that look like they're Negroes are actually from other tribes, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just that can't nobody, you know, if you don't have a spiritual eye, you know what I'm saying? If you can't try the spirit by the spirit and stuff, you just going to go off face value and think that it's just another colored person. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, you go amongst the Israelites, the so-called Mexicans and stuff, you know what I'm saying? They hate you and they look at you like you a gangster and stuff, like you a GD or a Stone, you know what I'm saying? You know that you some type of gangbanger trying to find all manner of things to twist their nose up at you and stuff, and it's vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You got you got Southern Kingdom Jakes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The Judites, the Benjamites, the Levites, the Haitians. You know what I'm saying? You got, and then all the other 12 tribes. You know what I'm saying? You know, they twist their nose up at Issachar, man. You know what I'm saying? Call them lazy when they hard working like mud. You know, but you know, they twist their nose up, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't get no respect when you works amongst them and stuff. You know, they only be for the Mexicans and stuff and not for the Negroes. You know what I'm saying? We all one nation, man. You know, they're evil towards his brother. You know, in that time, you're going to see that it's going to be like, if you ain't Mexican, we ain't helping you. And if you ain't black, we ain't helping you. You know what I'm saying? And just to throw that out there, when it come down to the for the Jakes that say black people, this, that, and the other, you know who you referring to. You talking about niggas in the hood, somebody you refer to as a nigga. You're not talking about them East Indians that be down there in Subway that got caramel skin. You know who the fuck you talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know who you referring to. You know what I'm saying? So get that colored mentality out, you know what I'm saying? Because you know who your people and you know who isn't. You know what I'm saying? The same way with them Ishmaelites, which are the Arabians who be down there in JJ Fish. It's one around my old block, you know what I'm saying, where they was blacker than me, you know what I'm saying? But I knew they were niggas. You know what I'm saying? So you know who you talking about, man. You know? In the same way with the Native Americans, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, they you know, it's hatred amongst the tribes, man. You know, it says I'll read again. Deuteronomy 28:54, it says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother and toward the wife of his bosom. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of these women and stuff that been sending them men to jail. You know what I'm saying? Because they are he didn't want to do this, and so you can brought up some lies and stuff to get him locked up and stuff. Now he can't get no job. Now he can't do this. You call him a deadbeat dad, but you put him in a state where he couldn't even get a job, so he can be the right type father. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, when they come out, you know what I'm saying? You know, they gonna destroy you women, man. You women got a very sore judgment coming your way. You know what I'm saying? You know, because pretty soon 911 ain't gonna save you because it ain't gonna be there, man. You know, and it's gonna be, and especially if in this time that's coming and stuff, you know what I'm saying? There's not gonna be a lot of save a whole nigga, man. You know, it ain't gonna be a lot of those guys out there just to hurry up and save the woman like they show in all these movies. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm not finna get killed for you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that. It says, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's gonna you know, like it's also pretty much going into the fact how the father leaves the household, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is the nation of Israel. Usually you see the Israelites, you know what I'm saying, the fathers still be in the house, but it's some of them that leave. You know, with the Puerto Ricans, some of the fathers leave, man. You know what I'm saying? With the Negroes, with the Southern Kingdom, you know what I'm saying, it's a blessing if the father stay in the house, man. You know, if he underneath the right morals, anyways. You know, this is Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 24. It says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it's gonna be a time where people gonna be all, you know, you cool, you know what I'm saying? You get your Coronas, you drinking beer, you know what I'm saying? You're toasting this, that, and the other, you know, watching a few games and stuff, doing all manner of wickedness and stuff. You smoking your weed, smoking your Black and Mild, smoking your squares and stuff. Hey, pass me a short. Pretty soon that dude that passed you a short gonna be trying to kill you in that day because he gonna be looking for food and you got it and he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? You know, sharing is only gonna go so far when it starts getting to the last little bit, and you know y'all both eyes are dark towards each other, man. You know what I'm saying? And it says, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. And this is Jacob's trouble, man. You know, you don't know if you're going to live to see the next day. You don't know if you're going to live to see the night, or you don't know if you're going to live to see the next few minutes, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how scary it's going to be, man. You know, and it says the springs and the fountain shall stand still, and 3 hours they shall not run. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be horrible out here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be very horrible out here. This is Second Esdras 15 verse 19. It says a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, meaning he ain't gonna be merciful. It's like, no, nigga, I know you got food, you know what I'm saying, and you being stingy. I'm getting this one way or another, you know. It says, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. The modern day sword is a gun, man. You know what I'm saying? Rifling houses down, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, or having a hammer or a sword or machete. You know what I'm saying? Because any tropical area where you see Ishka scattered around, they got machetes, man. You know, so there is, you know, the common weapon that's gonna be out here is the hammer, the bat. You know what I'm saying? The stick. You know, or guns, man. You know, and it says and spoil their goods. Word spoil means to rob. Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, because it's going to be a lack of food. It's going to be an actual famine, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, first and foremost, it's going to be a famine of this word, you know, so the ones that's not getting it now, you shit out of luck, you know, until the man of the Lord come around you, if the Lord guides him to come to you, to wake you up if you part of that number or not. You know what I'm saying? It says, you know, and then it's gonna be a famine of food, man. These stores only hold like 3 days worth of food. You know what I'm saying? You know, You got these stores and these restaurants, they throw all the food away, man, by the end of the day. You know, they don't save it, they chain it up so the homeless don't get into it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give out free sandwiches unless it's one of those few days that they want to do it, or making an event, you know what I'm saying, just to bring people to their stores. You know, yeah, it's gonna be a famine of food, man. Food gonna be short out here, you know, to the point, you know, people gonna be looking at the squirrels trying to bring it in with a piece of candy, you know what I'm saying, or bringing in a child with a piece of candy, like off the road. There was a part in the movie where they ran in this house, you know what I'm saying, and it was people in the cellar that was sick, whose limbs was getting chopped off little by little. They was being preserved, you know what I'm saying. The ones that had them like that was being conservative for food, you know, and it's gonna come again. It says because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Is this and then, you know, during that time it's gonna be martial law, man. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures talk about how it shall be sedition among men. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go up. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. You know, pretty much, you know, people going against each other, man. You know what I'm saying? Civil unrest, you know. And it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and sedition means the people going against the government. You know what I'm saying? Because when the food start getting low, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be tripping, you're gonna be putting it up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever and stuff. And then you get the ration boxes and stuff, them dry ass biscuits by Trump. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna have that, and you gonna complain and stuff, but you gonna still deal with it. And then when they cut that off, that's when it's gonna be a problem. You know, because one wise man that said, it's like you can take anything from Jake. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as that food is gone, that's when it's a problem. You know, you can take the internet, you can take the phones, but if they don't got no food, that's when it's gonna be a problem. They show you in these movies and some of these TV shows. There's a TV show called Quarantine. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's Netflix or HBO or Showtime or whatever. All I know is that when that food was getting scarce, you had gangs that was becoming like bandits and stuff, rolling through trying to take the food. You know what I'm saying? Not caring for nobody else, because that's how it's gonna be. People gonna be real stingy in them days, man. You know, unless the Lord is with you to put the spirit upon somebody else to give you some food, man. You know, it says, and invading one another. You know, it says they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. So they're not finna care about Trump, this, that, and the other. If they see Trump, they're gonna be ready to rob Trump because they like Trump got food. You know, it says in the course of their action shall stand in their power. So whatever they have, if it's a gun, if it's a weapon, you know what I'm saying, if it's their smarts, they gonna do whatever they can. They gonna use their power to the fullest of their potential just so they can get what they want in that day, man. You know, and the word want means lack. So if you lack food, guess what? Somebody gonna do something so they can get it. And it's not just gonna be, oh, please share, you know. Somebody might come to you, be like, oh, please share, you know, be humble and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But war be in their heart, ready to destroy you. You know what I'm saying? You know, they see you ain't trying to give up peacefully. They take it away from you by force. It says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because they're going to cut everything off. They're going to cut the railroads off. You know what I'm saying? People going to be trying to travel into other areas thinking everything going to be all cool. Hey, this Jacob's trouble going to spread like a virus in America, man. You know, it already happened in Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? And it happened to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen here, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be all out war. You know, it's not funny, but it's like, damn, you know, when you think about it. It says, verse 18 says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. You know what I'm saying? You know, you think everything's going to be all good. You think America is going to be able to destroy all these countries that sit up here, got these missiles, whose military is trained for like several years and stuff, who's ain't sitting there, where playing Call of Duty or Gears of War ain't even, it ain't even exciting. Like, it's like, man, you know, it's not even fun for them, you know, because they used to real life skills, man. You know what I'm saying? The men shall, people shall be troubled, because people ain't thinking about, famine and they think everything that they doing right now is gonna be all good. They think it's gonna be continuous, man. They don't expect the time of trouble. That's why it's gonna catch everybody off guard, like the flood, man. They was eating, marrying, drinking, just like in the days of Noah, and it caught them off guard. And these people won't get caught off guard, you know. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus in Apocrypha, chapter 39, verse 26. And it says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, which is wine, and oil and clothing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, all this is gonna be scarce, man. A little bit of nothing, man. It says all these things are for good to the godly. So the ones that the Lord is gonna be protecting, they gonna have the clothes, they gonna have the food, they gonna have the honey. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be able to come across the things that they need just to survive this terrible time. You know what I'm saying? It says, so to the sinners, they are turned into evil. Hey, man, your clothes going to start deteriorating upon you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be like that thing off Lord of the Rings who didn't want to give up the ring, who killed his brother for the ring, man. That's how you all going to be. Y'all going to have that mentality towards each other, man. You know what I'm saying? We families going to come to a slow stop real quick, man. You know? They show you in all the movies, you family, you had the swollest or the wisest or whatever, or the oldest, he be the head and stuff, until it's a young buck that come up who ain't trying to deal with what he's talking about and stuff and takes him out, and then that young buck don't have no wise or no wisdom and stuff, and he's leading everybody to their destruction, man. You know what I'm saying? Taking all the food and everybody starving, and everybody wishing that they would have had the first leader instead of the second. You feel me? The food is, you probably get stolen, you know what I'm saying? Probably be somebody still nitpicking when everybody sleep and stuff, It's going to be bad. It's going to turn into evil for them. It says, verse 28, it says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, It says, in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is spewing out these spirit of vengeance, man. Where it could be from a man, an animal, you know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Animals looking for food too. That's why they sliding in the city more. That's why you seeing more falcons, more hawks, man. You know what I'm saying? If you see an eagle, you better run away, because they more than likely gonna, a small child is food. You know what I'm saying? Coyotes, you know what I'm saying? Alligators, pythons, snakes, different types of snakes and stuff. You're gonna hear that, and you're gonna think it's one of those them bugs that come out the ground. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what they call, but they come out every year and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a whole rattlesnake and stuff, and it's just gonna increase. And then pow, you got bit, man. It says verse 29, it says fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction, man. You know what I'm saying? So there's gonna be some, it's gonna be the wicked, you heathens, you know what I'm saying, you Edomites, you know what I'm saying, you wicked 2/3, you know what I'm saying, you all gonna get these judgment, man. The scriptures talk about the four sword judgments, man. You know what I'm saying, and they most definitely gonna be appeased upon you, man. You know, you know, you know. To finish, nah, it's like this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 53. It says, "And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters." This is cannibalism, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's one scripture I believe is in Samuel's, but it goes into the fact that how they or in the Kings, it goes into how one lady was like, oh, you know, she bargained. It's like, we're gonna eat your son today and eat my son tomorrow, and they ate the one son, but then she hid her son afterwards, man. You know what I'm saying? She supplanted and getting some food, man. You know, I believe the child was sodden, and that sodden means to boil, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, in that time when you real hungry and stuff, people are not finna go for the ones that's gonna give them the most fight. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go after the babies. You know, they're gonna go after the children. You know, you got the mom crying with tears and the child wondering why she crying and stuff. She got some stuff in her hand, big old club stick, this, that, and the other, and she go upside the head of her child just so she can have something to eat. You know, cause she gonna think twice to go after the man unless, you know, something else, you know, whatever. But it says which the Lord thy power have given thee in the siege and the straightness wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee. You know what I'm saying? In the time of Vespasian, Titus, his son, the son of Vespasian. You know what I'm saying? When Vespasian became emperor and then Titus became the general or governor. You know what I'm saying? In the time of Jerusalem, 70 AD, man. You know what I'm saying? All the different things that was going on and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen here. You know, the streets gonna be compassed with armies, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, the time of the Gentiles still got to be fulfilled, man. You know, you're gonna be with your child. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you're gonna be trying to hide and stuff, and your baby get to crying and stuff, and the dogs pick it up and come get you. You know what I'm saying? You know, all this is gonna happen again. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 59. It says, "Then Yahweh Bashem Yashah will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance." You know what I'm saying? You know, because, you know, you don't got no food. You know what I'm saying? You coming across things that's poisonous that you think you can eat, and then it builds up an infection. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have the right herbs, nor have the knowledge of what to get. You know what I'm saying? Nor praying to the right names to help you out. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just your sicknesses are going to get worse, man. You know, you might have an open wound and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you just trying to put pressure upon it and stuff. You know, and he or she or your child, whatever, comes across something that's poisonous or infectious and stuff, and now it's some green stuff growing on your leg, or different colors and stuff happening to your leg or to your body, and it's spreading. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just going to increase. Verse 60, it says, "Moreover, he will bring upon thee all diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee," man. You know, meaning not depart. You know, the boils, you know what I'm saying, the itch, you know what I'm saying, that never goes away. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Tyrone Big off Dave Chappelle, how he always scratching his neck and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your skin's so dry, you scratching for days and wish it would go away, but it won't. You know, scurvy, man, lack of vitamin C, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, different skin diseases and stuff because you can't apply water as often as you would, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, having severe dry skin, man. You know, uh, you know, boils where you can't sit down or barely move and stuff without pain hitting you, man. You know, it says, verse 61, it says, also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Hey, it's a disease where your limbs can turn into tree bark, man. You know what I'm saying? Your feet and your hands turn into trees, man. You know what I'm saying? You know that I believe that's one of the ones that's not written in the book. You know what I'm saying? But there's heathens who get trees for tree bark for limbs. You know that can happen to you. You know, which is a scary thing. The scripture says that it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, because He can make you can be in a time where you need fire and stuff, and everybody looking at you like we need your limbs, and you're gonna be like, no, but they gonna take it so everybody can be wrong. You know, and I hope this video was edifying, and I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to apostles of great millstone, and salutations to the elect which we hope to be. Shalom and above.